Zemoustache farms up and makes a very nice catch onto Slowbro where the Hydro Cannon will be resisted. The opponent SLAYS switches into SLAYS. Tell me you're weak to Slowbro without telling me you're weak. Zemoustache gonna be able to shield once, confusion farm all the way down. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jamie Finn 1415 and today we are back at it in the Summer Cup featuring the secret sauce Shadow Slowbro. Today's battles are submitted to the channel by one of my admins over on Discord, Zemoustache. If you want to join the Discord, it's linked down below. He has been hyping up Slowbro. He's been telling me it is absolutely phenomenal in both the Summer Cup and the Great League. We're going to let his battles do the talking. You're going to see a couple of different variations of the team. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we do not see a good lead. Zay says no thank you and a SLAYS switch into Slowbro. The opponent sends out Wish Daddy Cash, a pretty neutral matchup, but just look at this oppressive confusion damage. Zay tanks the Mud Bomb and he is full sending the Psychic. Psychic does have a chance to debuff, although it has been nerfed in previous seasons, mostly thanks to the basic Witch Fighter Meta-Chan. Zemoustache has obtained himself shield advantage in the mid game, unless this opponent's running a very spicy moveset of Mud Bomb and Blizzard, meaning a Wish Daddy Cash without Scold. Our tree is going to completely wall the opponent and get a whole heap of farm. The opponent fire off the Scold, although in fairness that did not look all that resisted. Zemoustache looks for the confusion farm down, but Wish Daddy Cash reaches the departing Mud Bomb, leaving us on a sliver of HP. Out comes Licky, far too thicky. We fire off the Psychic and see the immediate pivot into the 2-shield Pidgeot. The opponent sends back out Skeledirge and Zay really needs to start shielding. We see the instant shield deployed, blocking up the incoming disarming voice. You will notice that Zay is opting for Aerial Ace, a move I normally call Aerial Ass, although I do think on Shadow Pidgeot it is objectively better, because Feather Dance is just such a trash move. We force the Protect Shield with the Aerial Ace. Full send the Brave Bird. Get that Skeledirge off my screen. The opponent sends back out Licky. However, the Licks are double resisted due to our normal typing. We reach the second Brave Bird and we're going to get the video off with back-to-back booms. Licky, you sir are not thick enough, and Zemoustache picks up the dub. In the next battle, we see Pidgeot in the lead. The entire team does well into Pidgeot, but as we're on an AVB double weak to electric in the back, we say switch into Slowbro and the opponent is absolutely core broken. They send out Toxapex. Zay said it's the secret sauce and it certainly is looking like it, as Toxapex might think it's thick, but it is not thick enough. We're going for the full confusion farm down. Toxapex, that stupid nipple, gets deleted and out comes Vigaroth. Due to our sub-psychic typing, the counters are resisted. Zay fires off the Surf, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Slowbro still not done, reaches the next Surf, and Slowbro is running rampant. Zay's switch timer pops up. We see the pivot into Pidgeot. Pidgeot can tank a Rock Slide. Rock Slide gets us low. The opponent is going to dump the remainder energy, and this is just game over. Exeggutor going to be able to confusion farm down everything. One confusion deletes Vigaroth back out. Comes Pidgeot and Blink, and you might miss it. The opponent is only going to reach one move. We're going to shield up the X-Scissor. Confusion farm down, and Zemoustache takes that game. In the next battle, So in the intro, I did say that Zemoustache switches up the team throughout the video. And in case you're wondering why, we are triple weak to Charger Bug, and if you played any Summer Cup, you know it's here, there, and every fucking where. We shield up the X-Scissor, build to the Psychic Bait with the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb forces a Protect Shield back. In fairness, I was not expecting these Shadow Confusions to do so much damage, and of course the Volt Switches are resisted. Due to our Grass typing, Zay banks a charge when we see the Snipe with Pidgeot. And just like that, we don't look all that weak to Charger Bug. Out comes Vigaroth and there is no bait, and we force in the Brave Bird. Does the opponent respect the damage? Get that Vigaroth out of here. There's another big boom. Out comes Mantine. The opponent plays the CMP type. They do not win. Shout out Home Slice Henry for that quote. And the opponent also petrified of Shadow Pidgeot's damage output, put up that Protect Shield, but the opponent really needs to go to school and learn to counter. That could only be an Aerial Ace, and Mantine, incredibly thick, didn't need to shield Zay, now very much in the driver's seat. The opponent fires off the Aerial Ace. Slowbro withstands the damage, reaches the Psychic. Psychic, not the best move after the recent nerf, but still enough to take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see another Skeledirge. This time we throw one confusion before pivoting into Pidgeot. The opponent stays in. Zay looks to get off some chip damage, firing off the Aerial Ace on the CMP type. I think it's very risky for that play, as if the opponent would have took the extra, they would have got 5 free turns of energy. You can see Aerial Ace from Shadow Pidgeot isn't all that bad a move. It's not quite Aerial Ass. Out comes Dugong. We full send the Brave Bird. Brave Bird! Let's go! Another huge boom! Zay putting on a clinic. Dugong forced to dump its energy. Icy Wind, of course, does secure the knockout. Zay sends back out Exeggutor, and we are spamming the switch. We send out Slowbro, looking to make the catch. Unfortunately, we're unsuccessful, but I think that confusion knocks out Zay. Gonna shield up the disarming voice. The opponent does get taken out by the confusion, and out comes Vigaroth. Slowbro fires off the Surf. Surf forces the Protect shield. Unfortunately, I think this is just too much for Slowbro to handle. The opponent still has a Protect shield to hide behind. They fire off the Body Slam. We withstand the damage. We fire off the Surf. We have got energy on Exeggutor. Can we go for the Wham Bam combo play? No, I cannot believe it. Slowbro says, Jamie, what are you talking about? I've got this buddy, and somehow hangs on, reaches the Surf, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see Exeggutor into Kingdra. Kingdra, due to its water, Dragon typing will only take neutral from the Seed Bomb, but you can see the confusions have already chunked it. Zay farms up to the Psychic Bait with the Seed Bomb. The opponent looks for the one shield, Dragon Breath farm all the way down, which they get. Zay sends out Slowbro. We're going to respect the outrage. Don't Octazooka. Oh, this horrible opponent kills a poor defenseless cat with a horrible masturbating habit, fishing for the debuff, which they didn't get. Out comes Jellicent. Zay going straight for the Psychic. Psychic going to do some very respectable chip damage if it goes unshielded, which it does. And we see the pivot into Pidgeot looking to soak the energy. Pidgeot, not the bulkiest, but Jellicent hits like a wet noodle. They chip us, then send out Toxapex. Zay just looking to YOLO the Brave Bird right off the bat, looking to sneak it through the Protect shield, which he does. The opponent probably thought, who's going to debuff their defense right off the bat? But Zay's like, me trainer, I am not messing about. We then force the Protect shield with the Aerial Ace, and this now looks very, very winnable. Zay gonna respect the potential Sludge Wave. The opponent baits with the Brine, but no bait will be saving this opponent's fate. This is only a Brine. We've now got the Surf Bank, and Jellicent has found itself in a situation where they're gonna get knocked out by a resisted charge move. The moral of the story is don't fucking bait, because every time you masturbate, a poor defenseless cat loses its life, and Zay picks up the dub. In the next battle, we see Exeggutor into the Quagman. The opponent safe switches into Trevenant. They see Pidgeot, and they're like, this game is absolute nonsense. The algorithm is real, and they concede the match. In the next battle, Toxapex in the lead. Speaking of leads, Zay has now put Slowbro in the lead, and we have got Shadow Ferrothorn in the back. A Pokemon I've been trying to run. Do I think it's any good? I don't know. I'll be honest, I saw so many Talonflames, and I was so sad. But this opponent is clearly core broken by Bro. As Zay told me, this thing is the secret sauce. Although we didn't tank that Earthquake particularly well, but we do get to see some Ferrothorn farm. The opponent doesn't reach the second Earthquake, so our Prickly Bush is easily allowed to tank the Hydro Cannon and leave with residual energy good to go. Zay's also running Flash Cannon as that Hail Mary. I personally like Thunder. Thunder very advantageous into stuff like Toxapex and all the flyers like Pidgeot. You can see two powers don't secure the knockout, but two Thunders from a Shadow Ferrothorn certainly do put Toxapex's bulk in a very questionable spot, as they cannot tank two. Although in fairness, you really don't need Thunder for this matchup, as this is very dominant for Ferrothorn. As we're hitting for neutral the entirety of the time, and the opponent is hitting for resisted. The opponent invests their final Protect shield, setting an opportunity for Pidgeot to land yet another Brave Bird. Back out comes the Quagman. Zay just going to shield up whatever the opponent throws. They throw the Mud Bomb bait. But as always, no bait will be saving this opponent's fate. Hi Quag, bye Quag. Get wrecked. Toxapex is going to get Wing Attack farmed down. And we're able to take that game. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Vigaroth in the lead, aka the King of the Themed Cup. A pretty nice matchup for us, as we do resist the counters and our confusions land for some heavy neutral damage. The opponent chips us with the Body Slam. Zay gonna return fire with the Surf. Surf, usually not the best move. Well, I say that, from Lantern or Jellicent it's pretty shit, but Slowbro hits pretty hard. The opponent then throws on Alignment. 2 turn into 4 turn, it's really easy, just throw an odd number to only give away 2 free turns. Don't do what the opponent did and give us 4 free turns of energy. Zay cleanly wins the one shield. The opponent sends out Skeledirge, looking for the Incinerate farm down, but Bro just refuses to die. Reaches one further Surf, and the opponent is now all shields down. Zemoustache has made another modification to his team. You'll notice that Shadow Ferrothorn, after making a very brief cameo appearance, has been replaced by King Cradily, and King Cradily getting straight into the big boom action. Rock Slide secures the knockout, and we see the pivot into Pidgeot to face the unshielded Toxic Nipple Toxapex. This game is so over. Zay just going to shield up whatever the opponent throw. They go for the Brine. All we've got to do here is throw an Aerial Ace and a Brave Bird. We're going in reverse order, throwing the Brave Bird first, which isn't quite lethal, but regardless of which order Zay throws these charge moves in, we're going to emerge victorious. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Slowbro into Crustle. Oof, another thing that somewhat core breaks us, as both Slowbro and Cradily are going to take super effective from the bug damage, and of course Pidgeot is going to get knocked out of the sky by the oppressive smackdown damage. We shield up the Exeggutor return fire with the Surf after only throwing one confusion, so optimal timing there would have been 2, which he does the second time, and now the opponent is in a situation where they're going to have to 2-shield if they want alignment. The opponent does invest that final Protect Shield, however they're left so low. We now send out Cradily, looking to operate as the damage sponge. The opponent fires off the Exeggutor, and we see the Simul swap of Pidgeot into the ever-annoying Toxapex. Last time I checked PvPoke, this thing was ranked number 1. However, I don't recommend using it, as it has 0 damage output. It's just a really slow, boring, bulky Pokemon. If you're a basic pitch trainer, you can hide behind and kind of have a lot of very boring matchups. Zay fires off the Brave Bird, which isn't lethal. We then fire off the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace does secure the knockout. The opponent now sends out the Quagman. Zay farms up, throws the Aerial Ace on the CMP tie, and Shadow Crime. This is going to get him below half health. However, this doesn't look all that great. Hopefully, Cradily isn't in Aqua Tail range. We are going to get outpaced. However, the opponent, no, they threw. The opponent gives us the Bullet Seed we require to reach the Grass Knot, and we're able to take that game. I have just looked on PvPoke. The opponent was 1 mod shot away from an Aqua Tail, and it would do 34.9%. And I think we definitely had less HP than that. So the opponent trying to make that catch cost themselves the dub, but Zay not complaining. In the next battle, we see Zay is using the same team, but in a different order, leading King Cradily. We see Jellicent in the lead. The opponent says no thank you and safe switch into Charger Bug. Zay forces the first protection with a Rock Slide. Says there's plenty more of where that came from. The opponent invests both Protect Shields. Petrified of Cradily. Zay happy to shield up the next Exeggutor. Looking to land the Rock Slide. Is Rock Slide enough to knock out? Come on, Cradily. Cradily fires off the Rock Slide. Oh, the opponent survives on a sliver of HP, but Cradily has done so much work. Zay actually looking to keep alignment. He really wants to get Jellicent aligned with Pidgeot as opposed to Slowbro, and I cannot blame him. Zay fires off the Rock Slide, doing some very decent chip damage. We can now send out Pidgeot. The opponent then pivots into the Pancake, aka Unova Stunfisk. And Slowbro's bulk is about to be put to the test. The opponent fires off the Discharge, which we actually tanked reasonably well. And we are going to return fire with the Surf. Surf won't be lethal, but will definitely put them into a range where Pidgeot can handle it. We actually get them into a range where we could probably just wing attack farm down. The opponent fires off the Mud Bomb, secures the knockout. Zay looks for the wing attack farm down. We're unable to get it. However, fun fact, we easily tank a Discharge. They hit like a wet noodle. We win COP against Jellicent, and Zay is going to pick up the dub. GG's, and thanks for playing. Very nice recognition there from Zay of how to pick up the dub in the end game. In the next battle, we see Cradily into Toxapex, a pretty neutral matchup. Everything the opponent throws at us is going to hit for neutral due to Grass taking super effective from Poison and Rock resisting, Grass resisting Water, and Rock taking super effective. Wow, that was quite long-winded. However, not only do I like to scream and shout over Pokemon Go content, I sometimes like to be informative, and if you want to rank up in GBL, it is paramount that you know your typing effectiveness. We see that pivot into Slowbro. The opponent sends out a Mulga, and again they throw an alignment. So like I said previously, 2-turn into 4-turn, it is so easy. Just throw an odd number. The second time the opponent does throw an odd number. Zay says, fuck it, you can have my Slowbro. We send back out Cradily. Cradily over farms before firing of the Rock Slide. Of course, Rock Slide easily going to secure the knockout, and Zay has now got himself shield advantage for the nuking bird Pidgeot back out. Comes Toxapex. Zay has so much energy, he is now forced to shield here. We shield up the Brine To be honest, I wouldn't have disliked Zay just firing off a charge move and saving the Protect Shield for Pidgeot, but we're going to let him cook. We fire off the Grass Knot. Grass Knot isn't lethal, but Cradily will be securing the knockout with the Rock Slide that follows. We're going to see the instant pivot into Pidgeot. Pidgeot looking to land that big boom. We look to land the Brave Bird on the Salazzle, but unfortunately, it's a charge attack priority. Dragon Pulse secures the knockout hold up. Can we survive the Incinerates? Ooh, we cannot, and the opponent wins a very close game. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Charger Bug in the lead. I'd say advantageous for us, as we can tank an X-Scissor where they really can't tank a Rock Slide. Unfortunately, we do end up throwing on alignment. So here, I'd never play to CMP. I'd always look to throw at good timing, which would have been 5. I am being quite critical, but Zay, a very, very talented battler. I just think that would have been the better play, but regardless, we're able to obtain shield advantage and land the Rock Slide, and Zay still sitting in a very nice spot. Zay sends out Pidgeot. Pidgeot looking for the wing attack farm down. Unfortunately, we're unable to get it before the opponent reaches the departing discharge. Another electric type. Are you serious? The opponent actually goes straight for a wild charge, so hold up. This might be playable. As they've lowered their own defense, they might actually shield the Aerial Ace, which they do. Zay thinks with a lower defense, Aerial Ace is enough to knock out. I don't know if it is, but we're about to find out. Aerial Ace isn't quite lethal. We're able to wing attack farm down. The opponent's final Pokemon is Tentacruel. We bank the Aerial Ace for the road, send out Slowbro. The opponent recognises the game's over, and they concede the match. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see that ever-annoying Shadow Vic. This might be the home of Shadow Pokemon, but I'm not a huge Vic fan, although this opponent is running Magical Leaf, so we'll give him a pass. The opponent fires off the Leaf Blade. King Cradily shows its bulk, holds strong, returns fire with the Rock Slide. Rock Slide isn't lethal, but we then snipe with Slowbro. The opponent sends out the silly Electric Fish Lantern. It looks like they're lagging. Zay showing great sportsmanship, allowing the opponent to catch up. Then he's going to fire off the Psychic. It looks like we're getting yet more lag. Psychic forces a Protect Shield. Oh dear, the opponent in absolute shambles. I shouldn't laugh, but this is season 19 and the game still has these issues. So it kind of is what it is, to be honest. Look at that. The opponent's going to completely lag out. We're going to be able to Confusion Farm all the way down, and the opponent probably threw their phone at a wall and concede the match. In the next battle, we see Dunsparce in the lead. Something I didn't really expect to see too much, because Vigaroth is the king of this cup, and this thing does very, very poorly into Vigaroth. The opponent fires off the Duron, which is the correct move to throw, as Duron is better DP than Rock Slide. We return fire with a Grass Knot, forcing a Protect Shield. You can see King Cradily is going to be able to survive a second Rock Slide. We then see the pivot into Slowbro. Our Slowbro save switch is met with Venusaur. Venusaur, this isn't a matchup you're going to fancy, Zay. Going to be able to shield once, Confusion Farm all the way down. Shadow Venusaur makes a very brief cameo appearance. The opponent had a Lantern the entire time, so that must have been a misquick. Or perhaps the opponent had no idea that Poison takes super effective from Psychic. Despite the opponent running Water Gun, it would have been objectively better than sacrificing a Venusaur. Zay shields up the Surf, looking to land the Psychic, trying to do maximum damage on Lantern. Lantern gets rocked below half health and then go for the wham bam combo play, serving up the Big Mac and the fries. Get that Lantern off my screen. Back out comes Dunsparce. Dunsparce looking for that rollout farm down, but Cradily's like, nah, I'm not done. Fires off the Grass Knot, rocking the opponent deep into the red. Zay then sends back out the Bro, looking to force some energy. The opponent is going to fire off the Duron, which of course will knock out as we're in the red, but Pidgeot easily going to be able to tank one non-stab Rock Slide, wing attack farm down, and that will be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, what a lead. Cradily into Swampert. The opponent looks to stay in. So Zay says, why not catch? If you're weak to Cradily, we may as well soak on Bro. Bro absorbs the Hydro Cannon. Speaking of weak, holy cow, the opponent must be so weak to Bro as well. Zay gonna be able to shield once, Confusion Farm all the way down, and the opponent is now in such a rough spot. Back out comes Swampert. Zay fires off the Surf. Surf will be lethal or force a Protect Shield. The opponent just let Swampert go down, putting all the hopes and dreams on the back of Charger Bug. Charger Bug instantly puts up that protection, blocking up the incoming Surf, but Cradily with residual energy fires off one Bullet Seed and the Rock Slide for optimal fast move time, and the opponent invests that final Protect Shield. We've already seen King Cradily has no issues tanking an Exeggutor despite it being super effective. The opponent is doubled up. Zay actually looking to YOLO the Brave Bird, because why not? We're here for a good time, not a long time. Zay sends out Pidgeot, fires off the Brave Bird. Hi Charger Bug, bye Charger Bug. Pidgeot is a Charger Bug counter confirmed. You heard it here first. In the next battle, we see another Toxapex in the lead, don't worry. I'm not going to bore you with typing effectiveness, we're just going to say a pretty neutral matchup. Zay farming up an absolute boatload of energy. I think we're actually now capped out at 100. The opponent fires off the Brine. Zay banks all that energy, pivots into Slowbro, drawing out Trevenant. Zemoustache looks to fire off the Surf, force some chip damage, but the opponent opts to throw the Seed Bomb immediately, looking to keep their Trevenant very healthy. However, that works for us, as they can now send out Pidgeot, Wing Attack Farm all the way down, and we're going to have energy here, there, and every fucking where. I saw Dan Ottawa showcase a Trevenant running Foul Play. Luckily for us, this is the usual moveset of Seed Bomb and Shadow Ball. We Wing Attack Farm all the way down, out comes Vigaroth. We go well past the Brave Bird bait with the Aerial Ace. There is no shot. Zay has been YOLOing Brave Birds the entire video. The first time we bait and the opponent calls it, but undeterred, we fire off the next Aerial Ace on the CMP tie. Zay knows he's going to be able to outpace to the next Aerial Ace, and from this range, Aerial Ace should more or less be lethal. Is it enough to knock out? Oof, not quite. The opponent pivots on 1 HP and a Dream, and we see the Simul Swap of Cradily back into Toxapex. Cradily fires off the first Grass Knot, which looks like it does around 50% of the remaining HP. The next Grass Knot forces the Protect Shield. Zay happy to shield in return. We shield at the Brine, and it's going to be a race. Cradily versus Toxapex. Cradily wins the race, fires off the Rock Slide. Rock Slide will be secure in the knockout. Vigaroth does counter farm down, but Pidgeot Wing Attack farms down Vigaroth, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see a very, very scary Pokemon. Has nothing on the team, particularly wants to tank a Blast Burn. Of course, Slowbro would resist it, but it won't look very resisted, let me tell you. Zay forces an early protection for the double super effective Rock Slide. Is Zay going to call the bait here? Zay, thinking about it last second, puts up that protection, and luckily for us, we do correctly shield at the Blast Burn. Zay then returns fire with the next Rock Slide, and the opponent has very quickly found himself all shields down. Zay pivots into Slowbro, and we might be about to see how much a Blast Burn does. Ouch, like 65-70%. Out comes Feraligatr. Unfortunately, Slowbro will get Shadow Claw farmed down before reaching the Psychic, but just the Confusions and the Resisted Surf have got this thing below half health. Zay sends back out Cradily. Cradily going to be sacrificed to the Pokegods. Hydro Cannon secures the knockout, and it's all down to Pidgeot to 1v3 the team. Zemoustache going to burn the final protection, blocking up the Shadow Hydro Cannon. Pidgeot is going to get the Wing Attack farm down, and this is now super scary. We've got energy, but the opponent has 2 Pokemon remaining. They send out Poliwrath. Zemoustache farms up, looks to fire off the Brave Bird, and what a catch. The opponent catches back onto Charizard. Zemoustache goes for the undercharge. The Brave Bird, even when we're hitting just an ice, still knocks out. Is Aerial Ace enough to knock out Poliwrath? No, it's not. Very, very well played, Mr. Opponent. Icy Wind gonna secure the knockout, and the opponent wins a very well played game. Unfortunately, that is gonna draw to a close today's showcase. Zemoustache, as always, buddy, so much fun. A very, very highly talented battler. One of my admins or moderators, whatever you call it on Discord. If you want to get in on the fun, the Discord is linked down below. So if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles, like Zemoustache had featured on my channel, link to battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.